So they have this cheaper car coming out in the next 6 months. We still don't know what it is. I think it's just a compact car. By the way, I think it's a compact car with a joystick, and they're going to get that approved on the road as a drivable car. Because if you really think about it, if you're going to have a car that's going to drive itself and you only need to intervene one time out of, 5,000, 10,000 miles to start, why do you need an entire steering wheel system and pedal system? Just have a joystick to just get you out of the situation. That's super easy. You don't even have to take it out. Just plop it in there. It's like a $1 part at maximum. And then that becomes your thing for your robotaxi fleet as well. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't. Anyway, so that's coming out soon, right?
I just love that you're so willing to look so stupid.
Thank you. Listen, if I feel something in my bones, I got to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to. Why do you think the joystick is stupid?
No, I don't know if it is or not. It's just like a wild prediction.
It's still out there?
So, yeah, it will appear stupid unless it comes true, in which case you'll be able to come back and be like,
But think about it from first principles, right? Think about it from a first principles perspective, okay? If you have a car, so why is the steering wheel and pedal system a good system? It's because for somebody that needs to interface with the car all the time, it's the best way to put in an input that people are used to, right? But if now you're selling a car where 99.99% of the time, 99.999% of the time, you're not going to expect it to put in an input. And then when you're doing an input, it's just getting it out of a sticky situation or taking over and doing a very quick maneuver, okay? Why carry all that extra load and all that extra cost for that one very specific situation every once in a while, maybe like once a year? It makes no sense. And there's no regulations that say you have to have steering wheels and you have to have a braking pedal and 100%.
That's so weird that we haven't already, just like thinking about the fact
that's why handicap cars are allowed.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess why don't we have cars that you can steer?
Legacy. You expect Legacy Auto to make such a...
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's nothing that's actually more ergonomic. Fighter pilots have to fly jets for marathon. And like you can be in the cockpit for 12 to 18 hours if you have to fly across the world and you're just going from tanker to tanker. And the whole time you're just either on autopilot or using your joystick. Yeah, I don't know why we couldn't do that in automotive. And so I was looking on this while I was on my Thanksgiving break. I was looking into, now with V13, when the news broke that it came out, I was like, okay, so what does this mean if you have a car? Again, like my conundrum is I'm trying to figure out what the hell this cheaper car is. And I'm trying to figure out why Tesla is showing this compact car so early and why they have it everywhere. I'm like, why are you hyping this up so far ahead of time? When is the last time Tesla has done this, truly? Where they've hyped this far away product that they're like, there's not going to have a steering wheel and pedal. Let's set that aside. Set that one aside. So that's my confusion. They have 20 of them already. They have a testing already in Texas. I really think that they are if there's a company that's going to come out with a brand new way to interface with a car, it's Tesla. And if you're thinking about like V13 to me is a confirmation that they're extremely confident that by the middle to end of next year, if somebody doesn't want to drive in their Tesla, they won't have to. And if they don't have to, why do you put a steering wheel and pedal in there when you can just have a fucking joystick? It makes, or just do it on the screen or something, right? So I really think, I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but I really think Tesla is going to come out with the compact car, this cybercab. That's their new car. That is their new car next year. And it's because of V13. Because they're going to be able to say it doesn't have a steering wheel and pedal, and they're going to sell it as a drivable car without a steering wheel and pedal, but with a joystick instead. And that's going to blow freaking people's minds. They're going to be like, I want a steering wheel and pedal on my Tesla. Okay, buy a Model 3. I want 4 seats. Buy a Model 3. I want to carry my kids. Buy a Model Y. You don't want any of those. You just want to get from point A to point B, pennies on the dollar. You don't want to have to drive. Okay, buy a cybercab with a joystick, which will be all the cybercabs. And then when you're at the point where it's unsupervised or where it's level 4 or 5, where people, by law, they can't interface with the car, disable the joystick. Just turn it off. The $1 part. You already have
It's already brake-by-wire. It's already electronically controlled. It's already drive-by-wire on the accelerator. Tesla just came out with steer-by-wire on their Cybertruck. Gee, I wonder if they can implement that in the cybercab. As soon as you do that, it's an electronic input. Just throw it to the joystick, and then when you don't need to do it, just disable it. Just turn off the... Anyway, how crazy do I sound? Tell me, please.
It actually makes a lot of sense to me. And I've been somewhat skeptical of the idea that the new models in 2025 that are supposed to be built on the same lines as the current Model 3 and Model Y were going to be super close to what they've shown us the cybercab is going to look like. But I think the argument that you're making sounds very much like Tesla, and I wouldn't be surprised.
JD.
No,
my
I agree.
fellow Tesla brother.
Yeah, when you first said that, I just thought it was such a wild idea. But yeah, after talking that through, I really think it makes a lot of sense. Especially if they can get the cybercab out to people, and it doesn't even like that would make it so that you could, even if you live somewhere crazy, when the car only is able to autonomously pull up to like your driveway and it's not able to actually get in, that would allow you to actually own that car and be able to get it like in and out of your garage and stuff. And yeah, that's a pretty wild thought. It really is. I haven't really thought about that before, but it doesn't really I think they've officially said that it's not going to have a steering wheel, but that doesn't mean it's not going to have some other manual controls.
Yep.
Right.
And it also fits with remember the Reuters report where they canceled that one model of the compact vehicle that did have the steering wheel and pedals? So yeah, if you decided you're going to make a compact vehicle that you are going to be able to control with a joystick instead of with steering wheel and pedals, then of course you're going to cancel the version that has the steering wheel and pedals, and all of the suppliers that were bidding to give you steering wheel and pedals parts are going to get the shaft. But like
literally,
yeah.
Yeah, I think I told everybody this, but I've quadrupled my short position on steering wheel since version 13 came out.
Oh my God. And again, I go back to this weird proposition that Tesla's in, given that they are going to solve self-driving very obviously, right? To me, this discussion and the people that follow Tesla closely, it appears very obvious that they will solve self-driving. And they have released their product that's going to be the majority share take rate of those self-driving miles, which is a 2-person cybercab, okay? And they're saying they're going to get to volume production by 2026, which is at least 2 million units per year. But the regulations in basically the entire world will not allow you to get to 2 million unit run rate anywhere close for probably a decade or more, potentially, right? It's going to be a long pathway. So what do you do in the meantime? You make it drivable. You sell the same exact car. You get your volumes up, right? So that you can actually have a volume capacity of 2 million units per year by 2026. We all know how expensive manufacturing is. Tesla would be the dumbest company in the world if they're willing to make 2 million of these per year by 2026, fully expecting to sell these into markets where they approve self-driving. That's impossible. That's just not the reality that they're in. But if people can actually drive it, even if it's one time per year with the joystick, then all of a sudden you are front-loading the supply of truly driverless vehicles years before they're approved everywhere. And Tesla's making money on them.
And let's take it one step further. If you are taking out the steering wheel and pedals and you want to minimize the amount of input that's going into the joystick, you could potentially also make it mandatory that they are subscribed to FSD.
Right.
As part of the purchase agreement.
Or build it into the cost of the car. Do something. 100%. It's 100%. And listen, and they could come out with a thing where the joystick is just better than a steering wheel and pedal. We don't know that. They could come out with a very super advanced way of moving the car backwards, forwards. We're just used to doing this. And if you really think about it, using both arms and both legs, if you're driving stick, you're not supposed to use both legs if you have an automatic car. But if you do, I do that sometimes anyway. But instead of using all 4 arms to drive, you just use your hand to drive, right? you're telling me the company that has figured out how to completely transform the UI of a vehicle, and they've gotten rid of blinkers and the shift in stock, they're not going to take it one step further and just move everything to a joystick and just put 2 buttons for left and right and just automate the rest of it, just automate the windshield, just everything else on the screen. And you don't have to mess with the seating position. You don't have to mess with the dash. You don't have to mess with any regulations around again, you're going to steer by wire, so you're not going to have the shaft connecting the steering wheel to the wheels, right? It allows you to keep absolutely everything about the cybercab when it's ready to be a fully autonomous system, and you can sell it now. And anybody can buy it, right? Nothing is upholding it it's a risky proposition. It's a risky proposition to say, hey, I'm going to transform the way you interface with a car when it comes to driving it. But that goes away when the product drives itself, even if it's supervised. Because if you're just watching it drive itself for 10,000 miles, but you're still technically responsible for it. I fucking love this company so much. God damn it. They better put that fucking joystick. I will look like such an idiot.
No, it really is. I really